Planning to build your very own APU rig? You might want to check this video out in order to maximize those sweet gaming FPS. Hello everyone and welcome back again to Junkyard Summit, and I'm back here again to revisit these APUs. Today I want to talk about some things that you should be doing when building your very own APU rig, and at the same time what you can expect when these APUs are fully unlocked. Just a quick recap on my last 3200G video. So in my previous testing, I opted for an A320 motherboard and at the same time 8 gigs of DDR4 RAM in dual channel. That setup is fairly basic and should run a lot of games fairly easy. And total cost of the motherboard and the RAM is around 5,400 Philippine peso, and that is brand new. But for today's video, instead of going for an A320 motherboard, I'll be getting a B350 motherboard instead, and at the same time, 2 8 gigs of DDR4 memory as opposed to the 2 4 gig sticks. Total price of this setup is around 6,800 Philippine peso, wherein I allotted 3,500 pesos to the motherboard and 3,300 to the memory. So price difference between the two sets is around 1,400 Philippine peso. And you might ask why spend more if the first one is perfectly fine. The first one is that the new Picasso APUs overclocks much better than their Raven Ridge counterpart, so those are the Ryzen 2000 APUs. And secondly, I noticed that the 1% lows of some games are really low, and I'm guessing that it is memory bottleneck. 6 gigs of system memory is not enough in a couple of modern titles. But before I go to the benchmarks, just some quick notes that I need to lay out. The APU in this testing is going to be my 3200G. That is overclocked to 3.8 GHz, while the iGPU part of it is overclocked to 1700 MHz, up from its base clock of 1240 MHz. CPU cooler will be the Arctic Alpine AM4 passive cooler, while my memories on the other hand will be overclocked to 3000 MHz, up from its 2400 MHz base clock. And by the way, 2 gigs of these memories will be allotted to our iGPU. And with that, let us check the comparison between the two setups in this 16 game benchmarks. Based from my testing result, we could assume that increasing the RAM capacity alone benefited in the 1% lows in a lot of games. This is especially evident in the Division 2, wherein we got more than 100% gain in its 1% FPS as compared to an 8 gig one, making this game playable as compared to the previous setup that we had. Also, with the help of the iGPU overclocking, I was able to gain an 18% increase across 16 games that I tested for the average FPS, while a sizable 28% increase for the 1% lows. The extra spending that I allocated in getting more RAM capacity and at the same time getting an B350 motherboard not only benefited our APU but as well as our future upgrade down the line, as you'll be getting AMD's PBO feature for the Ryzen 2000 and 3000 CPUs, which is not present in the A320 motherboard. And at the same time, the extra gigs of memory are always a good investment in your rig. So in conclusion, getting an unlocked motherboard such as the B350 or B450 motherboard, and at the same time getting 16 gigs of DDR4 memory in dual channel is great for an APU rig. The extra investment of going with this setup will not only give you the best gaming performance for your APU rig, but as well as making your system upgrade ready whenever you'll want to get a discrete GPU and upgrade to a better CPU. And I think that is all for today's video. If you liked it, go hit the thumbs up, and at the same time, do subscribe to my channel for more benchmarks and APU videos like this. Once again, this is Brain of Junkyard Summit. Thank you and see you in the next one.